Welcome back, I'm Alistair and this is the North Face Vectiv Infinite 3. The Vectiv Infinite 3 then is really an all-mountain trail running shoe designed to be capable enough to go on technical terrain, but it also has really nice geometry if you do run on rolling trails or flat sections, anywhere where you really want to open up the speed on those trail runs, then this shoe does a really good job of that as well. But in essence, it really is an all-rounder, all-mountain trail running shoe. I've been running in this shoe on a wide variety of trails here in Northern California. So I've been able to test it out across a nice range of different types of terrain that you might find yourself running in these shoes on. I'm really excited to share all my insights about this trail running shoe and of course whether it's worth buying. Let's start with the key specifications then. They cost $160. I'll let you know by the end of this review if they're worth that price tag. They weigh 9.6 ounces or 272 grams, and that's for size US men's 9, my pair. That's actually 12% lighter than the previous versions, so huge upgrades in terms of weight. It still has a 6mm drop from heel to toe. That's 29mm at the heel and 23mm under the forefoot. That's pretty much an average stack height, which does give you nice cushioning on the trails, but also gives you enough control and ground feel as well. The midsole is now using Dream foam, which is the same foam that they're using in the Sky 2, which is really nice. It's got a nice bit of response and bounce to it. And it has that Vectiv 3 plate running through the midsole, which gives the shoe a little bit of extra stability, but also some really good propulsion too. Outsole is still using surface control rubber compound from the North Face with 5mm lugs, which gives this shoe really aggressive traction on technical terrain, whether you're running steep technical downhills or you do have some muddy sections, things like that. These aggressive lugs really do hold their own on the trails. And then the upper is using a dual layer mesh. So you've got a nice smooth one on the inside and breathable on the outside. Overall, it is very breathable. Moving on to sizing and fit then. Well, I can confirm they are very much true to size and they have a nice medium width, very consistent with the previous version, the Infinite 2. However, the midfoot area does feel slightly looser, but I attributed that to the lacing system being a little bit different, and I did have to readjust laces after a few kilometers of running, which is unusual. I didn't have to do that with the previous version, but it kind of loosens up around the midfoot area otherwise, and it kind of gets tighter nearer where the top of the tongue is. So a quick adjustment during the run definitely gave me better lock in the midfoot. And then the laces are very, very long, so you probably will have to double knot them to keep them from flapping around everywhere. Right then, for those who have been running in the Infinite 2, I'm going to quickly go over some of the updates that the Infinite 3 has brought, just in case you're looking to upgrade. Well, firstly, the new version is 12% lighter, which is definitely noticeable on the run. I've noticed it on steep climbs and just running longer distances. It just feels that much snappier and just a little bit better to run in those circumstances because I'm carrying less weight with me. It just makes it feel that little bit more agile. The new nitrogen TPU midsole, it was EVA foam before. This new midsole does kind of bring a bit more energy return, a little bit more bounce to the stride. So I really like the Dream foam on the new version. Now, something that was one of the first things I noticed about the shoe and how it differs is the heel counter. So if you see, it is a very different shape. The new version, it kind of is wider, so it extends more around your heel. If you see on this one, the padding goes vertically and kind of surrounds your heel or your Achilles. This one doesn't do that as much, and it's got this padding at the top. Something I noticed on climbs was this bit putting a little bit more pressure on my Achilles, Whereas this style of padding just worked better for me. It felt more comfortable. So that's one downside to the new version. Many people probably won't really notice that, but it's something I picked on just because it was such a unique feature on this version. And then the traction is pretty much the same, even though the lug formation is very different on both shoes. It is still using 5mm surface control lugs, and traction is just fantastic on both. Can't really tell the difference there. If you're enjoying this review, please give the video a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe to my channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. I always keep things genuine, honest, and as insightful as possible to help you determine whether the shoe I'm reviewing is going to be best for you. But if at any point you've got any questions, just let me know in the comments down below. Or if you just don't know where to start, comment down below. Let me know your situation, your circumstances, and I'll get you hooked up with the best running shoes for you. All right, it's performance review time. First off, I'm going to talk about this huge weight reduction of 12%. Now weighing 9.6 ounces, the shoe just feels a little bit more agile, a little bit more snappy and enjoyable to run steep inclines, but also longer distances in because I'm bringing less weight along with me. Now I believe most of this weight reduction is coming from this new Dream midsole foam, but I feel like maybe it has lost some padding in the upper as well. And this padding being around the collars on the inside and at the heel counter. So I preferred the fit of the previous version where it came to the padding within the shoe. I just thought the previous version was really unique when it came to the placements of that padding and how it kind of supported your Achilles and went up either side of the Achilles tendon. Just felt really nice to me. So I'm a little bit disappointed that the North Face has changed this heel counter. I'd like to see it go back to it in the next version, but we'll see. I really love this midsole rocker design as well. When combined with the Dream foam, it just gives you better momentum, better heel to toe transitions when you are running on flatter sections, and it just feels more energetic in general. And the Vectiv 3 plate, which runs through the midsole, gives you a good bit of extra stability because it wings out at the front, kind of giving you more stability on the forefoot. But the plate also gives you good amount of flex and energy return, giving you more speed. Now that flex does happen mostly towards the forefoot, which is what you would expect. This is where your foot should bend. So that's operating really well, but also the Vectiv plate gives you protection from sharp objects on the trail. So a multi-use feature there that works really well. So overall, the midsole gives the shoe a really nice cushioned ride that's not overly cushioned, it's more balanced. So you've got a nice bit of response and control as well, making it an excellent all-mountain trail running shoe. Now, if you're looking for a trail running shoe that's similar to this, but has a more minimal, more responsive ride, better for racing and going fast, or maybe climbing faster, doing things like sky running, then I would recommend looking at the North Face Vectiv Sky 2 instead. A lot more minimal, more lightweight, but fantastic traction, fantastic control. It's super fast, very airy, and really what you want to be switching the Infinite series out for come race day. So these two shoes, if you do get on with the North Face trail running shoes, then these shoes do complement each other really well. You take this all mountain trail running shoe for training and then switch it out for this bad boy, and it will feel similar, but it'll be quicker and you have so much more performance come race day with this one. Moving on to the outsole, well, traction is fantastic, just as it was on a previous version and just as it is on the Sky 2 I just mentioned. This surface control rubber compound is really nice. It's sticky, meaning you do lose some of the rubber on the trails, but that's kind of how good rubber works. It does kind of wear off a little bit quicker than a harder, more firm rubber compound. But that means it works better. I'm sorry, you can't have it all. You're going to have a less durable rubber compound, but it's going to work so much better. It's going to have so much more control and traction. And that's really what I love about the outsole on this shoe. It just is super aggressive. I've been using it on hard rock, loose dirt, muddy sections, going over roots, forest trails, steep inclines, steep declines, and the shoe has got my back. I feel really confident running in it. And that was exactly the same with the previous versions. So the North Face has done a fantastic job with this outsole. The dual warp mesh upper is really breathable, so temperature regulation within the shoe is great. And because it is quite a loose knit within the mesh, if you do get it wet, it will drain pretty well and pretty quickly. Now, one thing to mention is the tongue is a little bit short, so it does slip a little, and the laces are, in my opinion, way too long. So it's just a little bit finicky. I do have to do a double knot to tie them up. Not to keep them done up, just to keep them from flapping and getting in the way or potentially getting snagged on the trails. So I'd like to see the North Face either shorten these laces or create an elastic loop on the front as a way to keep them out of the way when I'm running. Well, congratulations, you've made it to my final verdict. Is it worth $160? Well, yes, it's very much worth $160. It's still very easily within my top 5 all-mountain trail running shoes right now, as of January 2025. By the way, if you are looking for your next pair of trail running shoes, you're not sure where to start, definitely head over to my best trail running shoes roundup up there. I'll put a link in the description as well. I separate the trail running shoes into 3 categories on there. Number 1 being all-mountain trail running shoes, then trail racing shoes, and then daughter trail running shoes. So if you are looking for your next pair, definitely check out that roundup. I always keep it updated as and when I review running shoes that are good enough to make it on that list. So yes, definitely worth $160. It's a fantastic, versatile, all-mountain trail running shoe. It's very comfortable right out of the box. The midsole has great energy return. It's got a little bit of cushioning in there as well, and really nice rocker design, which gives it nice smooth transitions if you are going on long runs or if you're running fast on flat sections. The outsole traction is fantastic as well, and it's lighter than the previous version. Well, thanks for watching the North Face Vectiv Infinite 3 review. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe to my channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Peace.